My social problem is on economic mobility and its challenges. Now, economic mobility refers to the ability of individuals or families to move up or down the economic ladder within a society. In the United States, this mobility is often hindered by systematic inequalities that disproportionately affect certain groups. For example, a study by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia reveals that American Indian and Black children tend to achieve worse economic outcomes than their peers, even when starting from similar parental income levels. Ancestry plays a pivotal role in determining one's socioeconomic status. Historical and systematic factors have led to significant wealth disparities among different racial and ethnic groups. The Urban Institute notes that wealth inequality in the U.S. is higher than in almost any other developed country and has been rising for the past 6 decades. These disparities are perpetuated by systematic barriers such as substandard education, limited access to quality health care, and economic deprivation. For example, wealthier families can afford better educational resources, leading to higher academic achievement and subsequently better economic opportunities. In contrast, families with fewer resources often struggle to provide the same level of support, hindering their children's prospects for upward mobility. Recent studies have shed light on the persistent nature of these disparities. Research from the Brookings Institution reveals that between 2019 and 2022, while median wealth increased, overall the racial wealth gap has widened, with white households experiencing more significant gains than Black households. Chapter 7 of the textbook states that 11.8% of the U.S. population, which is 38.1 million people, were officially poor in 2018. Disproportionately represented in this category are Blacks, Hispanics, children, and women, especially female-headed households. Additionally, the concept of the bank of mom and dad has become more prevalent, where parental financial support significantly influences young adult opportunities, such as purchasing homes or pursuing higher education. This trend further entrenches existing inequalities, as those without affluent parents are left at a disadvantage. The textbook reveals that most government assistance is targeted to the affluent rather than the poor. Tax expenditures and other subsidies provide enormous benefits to the already affluent, which further redistributes the nation's wealth upwards. This means that instead of helping those in poverty, government policies often favor the wealthy, exacerbating economic inequality. Some examples of upward wealth redistribution would include tax loopholes and deductions. Wealthy individuals benefit from tax breaks on capital gains, mortgage interest deductions, and corporate subsidies. Another example would be subsidies and bailouts, where many industries receive government support, while struggling low-income communities see minimal direct investment. Now, addressing these deep-rooted issues requires a multifaceted approach. I would implement educational reforms because investing in early childhood education and equitable school funding is key to breaking cycles of poverty. Wealthier students benefit from better funded schools, high-quality teachers, and extracurricular opportunities, while low-income students face underfunded schools and fewer resources. The textbook also emphasizes the innate inferiority hypothesis, a false theory that blames intelligence rather than systematic inequalities for economic disparities. Fixing these disparities ensures every student has a fair chance to succeed. Next, I would implement financial literacy programs. Many low-income communities lack access to financial education, leaving individuals unprepared to manage debt, build credit, or invest in their future. Teaching budgeting, credit management, and wealth-building strategies in schools and communities empowers individuals to make informed financial decisions, and avoid predatory lending. Next, I would push for policy changes. Government policies shape economic opportunity. Reforming regressive tax policies, expanding student loan relief, and increasing financial aid can help close the wealth gap. The textbook states that most government assistance benefits the affluent rather than the poor, redistributing wealth upwards through tax breaks and corporate subsidies. Expanding welfare programs and tax reforms can help level the playing field for low-income families. Lastly, I would implement community support initiatives. Success isn't just about education and policy. It's also about mentorship and opportunity. Many wealthier individuals have built in networks and financial safety nets that help them get ahead. To bridge this gap, we need mentorship programs, scholarships, and job placement initiatives to support marginalized youth and provide equal access to career-building opportunities. By investing in education, financial literacy, policy reform, and community support, we can create real pathways to economic mobility and break the cycle of generational poverty. Now, with that being said, there do come with challenges, such as implementation issues. Policy reforms require bipartisan support, which can be difficult to achieve in a polarized political climate, as well as funding. With allocating resources for these programs necessitates budget adjustments, potentially leading to debates over taxation and government spending. Lastly, there's going to be opposition. Some groups may resist changes that they perceive as threatening to their economic interests or ideological beliefs. Through applying conflict theory rooted in the ideas of Karl Marx, we can understand how societal structures favor the wealthy, creating a cycle that maintains their dominance. This theory depicts that the elite use their power to preserve their status, often at the expense of the lower classes. In the context of economic mobility, those with wealth and resources can provide advantages to their descendants, perpetuating a cycle of inequality.